When I give the sun for an hour in bed, bone weary hanging by a thread. One word and I'll be standing guard. My baby's call is my call to arms. My skin
Thank you
like
so much
bones
for
bleach
speaking with me. I
white.
know this is a busy day for you. You are all like traveling around Toronto. You guys are doing a bunch of interviews today, promoting a new album, if I'm correct.
Yes, we are. We actually just came from SoCan, so we just spent a little bit of time performing for our writer-creator team here in Toronto, and that was super fun.
Well, congratulations on that. Congratulations on Shapeshifters, which is an interesting name, and I want to get into that and why you called that. But and also I want to add in too, correct me if I'm wrong, May 11th, you're going to be with Royal Wood at Massey Hall?
Yeah, that's the word. We're so excited. It's going to be our first time playing Massey, and we're going to be in there right before the renovation. So that's pretty special.
Two things. One, what is it like? What do you think it's going to be like, of course, working with Royal Wood, who is a magnificent artist on his own, but also the place where Gordon Lightfoot built. What does it feel like knowing that you are going to be in the hollow grounds of Massey Hall?
Well, working with Royal is going to be great. We've worked with him quite a bit in the past. We've done a bunch of shows with him. He's a wonderful friend, and we share a bass player, Steve Zarai, who's become a big part of our touring life and our friends, our circle of friends. So that's going to be great. And then also playing Massey, I mean, what can I say? I'm actually, to be perfectly honest, trying not to think about it too much, because if I do, I it's pretty overwhelming. I think about all the shows I've seen in that room and all the people who have played that room and what it means to this city that I love. It's very, I don't even know the word. It's like awesome, amazing. Like nothing is really touching how I feel about it.
Well, congratulations, and
Thanks.
Congratulations on three of you. And I want to talk about how the good Lovelies got together, because you guys all had separate careers, right?
Yeah, we started, we were all working day jobs and all singing on the scene in Toronto, performing in different sort of setups. Sue was in a kind of like a lounge band called Blue Sativa. I was singing with my sister in a group called the Brooke Sisters, and Carrie was doing her solo stuff. And we sort of united one night. We were all friends already, but we united one night to do a show at the Gladstone Hotel, and to do kind of a songwriter in the round sort of thing, where we each took turns performing our really sad ballads from our 20s, because life was so hard back then. But we also did a few Christmas songs together in harmony, because it was just before Christmas, and those songs got crazy reaction. We were really, really happy about it. So, and to be honest, like the first time we sang in harmony, like the hairs on my arms stood up, because it was really special the way our voices blended. So within a year and a half, we had quit our day jobs and had applied to folk festivals, and we're touring around in my station wagon across the country and back, and here we are almost 11 years later. Crazy.
What is it about the harmonies that seems to be coming back? It was almost like there was a certain point, I think, during the early 2000s that kind of died out. It was big, I think, in the 90s, kind of died out in the 2000s, and now it's starting to really come back. What do you think that is? Because I know for myself, when I hear harmonies that just blend, like you just said, hair stands up.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it. It's like the ultimate instrument, right? I don't know what it is. Harmonies have always appealed to me. Like, I grew up singing in a family band, so I never lost touch with harmony. It's never gone out of style for me. So I have a hard time understanding why it's resurging at this point. I think a lot of people love singing in general. They love the act of singing and being part of something. So when we are putting on a show, we notice, like, if we get the audience to sing along, that you can feel it. It's almost like electric, right? So maybe that's got something to do with it, that need to sing together. It's an innate human need, and it's how it's been part of it's like part of our DNA, you know?
Now, you guys got together when?
2006.
2006, 7, 8, 9. So it took you, like, what, 4 years to win Canada's biggest prize, a Juno Award?
And you know what? We united at the end of 2006, so pretty much 3 years.
I love that. I love that. How did it feel winning the Juno Award for Roots and Traditional Album of the Year?
It was very unexpected. We were, first of all, just like delighted to be nominated. And then when we went to St. John's, and we really just treated it as like this big party. Like we had no expectations. And in fact, like I think Sue in our speech, she was like, I think she said something like, I have to leave the stage now because I'm going to pee my pants. We were so excited. We were just so excited. We didn't know anybody. We really were just, it was fantastic. And we were really proud of that first record. We put a lot of love and creative energy into it. We made that album with Les Cooper and Adam King, longtime friends and collaborators. And it's so many years ago now, but it still makes me feel quite rosy just thinking about that time.
Shapeshifters. This is a new album. Why that name?
Well, Shapeshifter comes from a lyric from one of the tunes. It's called I See Gold. And I think the reason we chose it is sort of referring to a few things like a lot of things have changed over the years. You know, some of us have had children. We have some marriages. We've had, some deaths in our families, and life goes on, and we change ourselves in order to adapt to every new condition that's coming our way. So that would be my sort of simple explanation. We like the idea of Shapeshifters because it also refers a little bit to the sound on the record. There has been obviously a continuity between our albums. So if you listen to them in order, it makes a lot of sense sonically that we have headed in this direction. But this album does have a bit more of a pop feel than some of our prior recordings, and we use a lot of new instrumentation that we've never played with before. So that name just seemed to fit when we were looking for a name for the album. It sort of felt like it really represented where we are at this point in time, and just constantly in motion and changing ourselves to adapt to every year of life that goes on,
Shadows flicker in the night. There's a change coming. Everything's gonna be alright. Golden shadows flicker in the night. Let it go, let it go. Everything's gonna be alright.
Now, is the lead single I See Gold? Am I right?
It is. Yep.
What is that about?
That is a big question. I wrote that song with Robin Delonto, and it sort of muses about. It sort of looks at how we all go through these very difficult parts of our lives, and how we manage to get through the everyday. So getting through the grind and managing to see the good side of things, even when it can get almost. Like you can barely even see yourself getting through it, but you do it because you're able to sort of manage it on a day-to-day basis. That is a very ineloquent way of showing you that, if I think about that song, I think about being a mom and how, the days are really long, but the days are short. And you get through it, the difficult times, the sleeplessness, and you see gold at the end of it because you have this amazing little baby. But it's not necessarily about just that experience, about many different experiences. And that's where Robin and I came from when we were writing that song.
Now, we already talked about Massey Hall, but you guys have a tour that starts on March 1st?
Yeah, so we're going to do the Midwest for a couple weeks in the U.S. So we're in Minnesota, in Indiana. And then we're heading to Australia in March and April. So it'll be a really nice way to skip Toronto, the end of the Toronto winter. And then, we're going to be in Canada in late May and early June, touring the record across the country, Shapeshifters across the country, and starting at Massey Hall.
You were able to give up the day job. You're living your life. You're living your dream, all three of you. What advice can you give those folks who are following the good Lovelies, who hope that one day maybe they can play at Massey Hall or be able to tour around the world? What advice can you give them?
That is such a big question. I would say just you have to believe in what you're doing and to work every day towards it. It's like it really can be a grind. It is a job just like every other job. I mean, people think our job is so glamorous, but there are parts of our job that are really, you're in a grind every day, and you just have to keep trucking and believing and surrounding yourself with the best people. So trusting your team and just making yourself make sure you love the people you work with and they make you feel loved as well.
Absolutely, and you make us feel loved when you perform for us. So thank you so much for that. Website, Twitter, Instagram, all that social media stuff. Where do we go to follow you?
Just at Good Lovelies and goodlovelies.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Looking forward to you coming back to Toronto to play Massey Hall. Say hello to the ladies for me. But again, thank you so much for the music.
Thank you so much, Rudy.
Take care. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye-bye.